Welcome everyone to the end of the week ULTY portfolio update. This is where we talk about how the stocks and ETFs in the ULTY portfolio are performing, how the options trades that the YieldMax managers are putting on, how those are performing, and we see what's working and what's not working. So just to recap the week, we'll hop over to the Seeking Alpha website and look at the 5-day price return of ULTY. Price return down 5.13%. ULTY right now, we've closed at $3.98, so getting a little bit closer to $4, but still with a 3 handle around it. So price return for the week down 5.13%. Total return, when you throw in that dividend, it's saying total return is minus 3.61%. So that's a little bit better, but still a rough week for ULTY, but it was a rough week for the markets. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq QQQ and 5-day chart down 2.67%. So it was a rough week overall. And when you look at the ULTY portfolio and you see all the betas in there, the average beta of the stock is 2.13 in the ULTY portfolio. So you'd expect it to move much further down. Now, on Friday, they had 14 winners in the portfolio, so ULTY was up, 9 losers for a 60% win rate. The average stock returned 0.5%. The biggest losers were IREN, but only down 2.78%. MP Materials, again, only down 2.49%. And the newest addition to the ULTY portfolio is IBIT, IBIT, which is an iShares Bitcoin ETF. So ULTY now has an allocation to Bitcoin. Let me go over to the holdings and see what percentage that is. IBIT looks like 4% of the portfolio is allocated to Bitcoin. And I'm going to highlight that here. And I'm going to make this font bigger so everyone can see. And we see, 4% allocated to Bitcoin. If we look at GLD and GDX, those both have about 4.9 and 4.85%. So almost 10% of the ULTY portfolio is allocated to gold or gold-related stocks, which I like personally. And then we've got a 5% allocation to a leveraged treasury fund, the Direxion Daily 20-Year Plus Treasury Bull 3X shares. So that's a 5% allocation there, which is kind of like a cash equivalent. So if you look at their cash position, right now that's 5% of the portfolio, or about 74 million. Their money market fund is about 50 million or 49 million, 3.62%. So in total, 5.39 plus 3.62 plus 5.13 is 14. So 14% roughly in cash or cash equivalents or in a leveraged treasury fund. So that's kind of interesting to see. The big winner on the day was Circle Internet, up 6.5%. Google is now up 3.3%. For the week, Google was up 4.63%. So that was great to see. Google's trading at close to $300 a share. I think at the beginning of the year, Google was trading around $220. Let's see the year-to-date chart. Oh, at $189. So Google's had a great run-up. I think this should be a long-term hold for ULTY. Good company that I like a lot. Other good names in the portfolio that I'm liking now are, where did it go? Costco. Costco's in there. That was up 0.64% today. Meta as well, which is going to be riskier, but Meta was up 0.85%. So Google, Costco, Meta, good names to see in the portfolio. Scrolling down here to this table, which is the weekly returns. So we'll see how your portfolio did. NewScale was the worst, down 16.5% on the week. The best was, again, Google, up 4.63%. Out of the 23 stocks that they hold, only 4 were up on the week, and the rest were all down on the week, on average down 6.44%. And so now we'll talk about the buys and sells from Friday. This is kind of an ugly way to view it, but I'll explain it. At the top, we see IBIT. So they bought 2 chunks of IBIT, which is the Bitcoin ETF. So they now hold that. They sold their Nvidia position, and we'll talk about if they made a profit on that or not. They bought PWR, which PWR is a stock I'm not familiar with. It's Quanta Services. And Quanta Services, from what I can tell, let's see, where does it say what this company does? It sounds like a tech company, but I could be wrong here. No, Quanta Services looks like it's a utility company, so offers infrastructure solutions for electric and gas utility, renewable energy, communication, pipeline, and energy industries in the U.S., Canada, Australia. It looks like it's a utility company, which is interesting. Quanta Services, PWR, stock. So ULTY bought Quanta. They sold pretty much all their SoundHound position. Again, we'll talk about if that was profitable or not. For some reason, I looked at it, and they still hold on to 400 shares of SoundHound. This is the holdings down at the bottom here. They still have 400 shares of SoundHound. So I don't know if they forgot to trade out of that or there's some reason for them holding on to that. It seems very strange that they'd hold on to 400 shares, which is only worth $4,000. So I don't know what's going on there, but let's talk about the profitability of those trades. As we mentioned, let's go to SoundHound, or no, let's go to Nvidia first. So let's go over to Nvidia, and we see that this was pretty much a flat trade. They bought at $185.98. They sold at $181.22. So if you want to get the per share dollar value, they lost $4.76 per share, but they had options credit of 1.8 million, and they had 400,000 shares, so they had roughly $5, let's see, 473. So they had $4.73 per share in options credit. So if you kind of get the difference, that's 3 cents. So they basically lost 3 cents per share, or 3 cents on $400,000. So a pretty pointless trade, I guess. It's kind of remarkable. It seems like ULTY's one of the few people who have not made money on Nvidia. I don't know if they should have held it longer, but yeah, it just seems a little bit weird, and they traded it around earnings. So I guess they were just cutting their losses. And yeah, kind of a weird situation with ULTY and Nvidia there. Now turning to SoundHound. SoundHound, I haven't prettied up the table yet, but we can just do this live together and we'll see how much they made or lost on SoundHound. The hint is they've lost a lot. So if you sum up this buy table here, we see that it's down 38 million just on stock alone, down $38 million. And now options credit, if we sum up all this trading from all the options here, we're going to get how much options credit they received. So that's 15 million in options credit off the SoundHound trade. And now oh, that's an ugly green. And now we'll combine the two of those together to get down $23 million on SoundHound. And the sum of what they invested in SoundHound is this much, so 112 million. So we'll just divide 23 million by 112 million, get 20%. So they were down 20% on this trade, according to my calculations, down 20% on the SoundHound trade. It's pretty bad, but I'm glad they got out of it, because it seems like it's just keep getting worse. It's continuing to get worse and worse, though they still hold on to 400 shares, as I pointed out. So that's the ULTY update for the week, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a comment or give it a like, and let me know what you want to see in future videos. Happy to cover that. So have a great weekend, everyone, and see you in the next video.